Yo, what's going on, everyone? I just got approved for my latest credit card. Here's the thing, though. I don't think I can really recommend this card for anyone out there because this is either going to be someone's favorite credit card or for 99% of literally anyone else who doesn't care about this card, it's not going to matter to them. And this credit card is specifically for this place over here. This is Sephora, and this is a Sephora Visa credit card. In this video, we're going to go over exactly what you need to know, whether or not you want to consider the Sephora credit card to be that next card in your wallet. More than that, I'm going to go over exactly what my strategy is per using this card and how I'm going to be able to get pretty much 20% off each and every transaction with Sephora forever. Period. And finally, I'll go over an alternate strategy where you can still get this outcome without even having the Sephora credit card. Starting us off, it's important to understand the following. The value for the Sephora credit card really doesn't come from having it alone. It's really how it works in combination with Sephora's membership loyalty program. The name of their program is called Beauty Insider, and there's 3 tiers. The first level is known as Insider, and you can beat this level for free just by signing up for a Sephora loyalty account. The second tier, it's something known as VIB, which stands for Very Important Beauty Insider. And here you're eligible to be this tier after spending $350 or more in a calendar year. And the highest tier is something known as Rouge, where basically you spend $1,000 or more in a calendar year and you have this level of quote unquote status, which comes with the following benefits. In general, with any level tier of status, you earn 1 Beauty Insider point per dollar spent. This is important into how the benefits play into what value you could get by tier. Irrespective of you being a specific tier, there's some benefits that you get by just being a member with Sephora in general. Some of these examples are going to be free standard shipping, end of year discounts, as well as the capability to redeem your points, 500 of them specifically, to get $10 off your purchase. The reason to chase a specific tier of Sephora status really comes down to a couple core reasons as follows. The first reason is the fact that Sephora has something very much marketed as their semi-annual sales. In the world of everything Sephora, there are 2 sales, one that happens in the spring and one in the fall, where you get a certain level of discount based on what level of tier you are with Sephora. At the free level, you get 10% off. At that VIB middle tier, you get 15% off. And at Rouge at the highest, you get 20% off. This is going to be on every single transaction during that sale period. Aside from these 2 major events, there's multiple smaller events which are sprinkled throughout the year where you get an elevated structure in terms of how many Beauty Insider points you earn per dollar spent. In the order of Insider to VIB to Rouge, it's going to be 2x, 3x, and 4x. The big call out here is that when you're Rouge, you have the capability to redeem 2,500 of your points for a $100 Sephora gift card. We'll be digging deeper into this exact point, and on that note, let's look more deeply into what this card actually has to offer to us. This card is marketed as getting 25% off your first purchase. The fact is, you can apply for this card, get approved, and still get that 25% off for a purchase within the first 30 days of account opening, which means you don't need to be forced to use it on that first transaction upon approval. Typically speaking, folks may be at the cashier, maybe they're pitched the card as a way to save 25% off their transaction, so it does feel like, hey, you got to use it in that moment, especially the marketing material around the store is saying the same, but this isn't the case. When you put an application in for this card, you don't actually have a choice of which Sephora credit card you'd actually get approved for. Let me explain. When you submit an application, there's actually 2 variants. One is the pure store card, which can only be used at a Sephora or Sephora.com. And the other is actually a Visa card where you can use outside of Sephora just like a normal credit card. Based on your credit is how you'd be assigned which version of the card you'd be approved for. More than that, there's a secondary version of a Signup Bonus equivalent where basically you get $20 in Sephora rewards after $500 in minimum spend in the first 90 days from account opening anywhere that isn't with Sephora. 20 after 500 in spend is essentially 4% back. So optimally, I would use it for, let's say, non-categorical spend where I'm maybe not getting 4% on certain categories. So for example, I did an oil change this morning as well as bought some car parts. So items like this is basically where you'd maximize this 4% back. Aside from having the pure store card, there are a couple of benefits of having the Visa signature version where you get their benefits. A couple examples are auto collision damage waiver as well as travel/emergency assistance. Before moving on to the earn rate, One more point on this 25% off your first purchase in the first 30 days is as follows. I got my approval at the cashier when I was checking out, and I got instantly approved to spend, I think it was $500 or $1,000. The point is, after asking Sephora employees like, hey, is there a limit for this 25% off? Can I just spend pretty much as I can to get this 25% off? Is there a cap, etc., etc.? They said, hey, there's no cap. I didn't get this answer from the bank, but the understanding is that if your credit limit's, let's say 10 grand and that's what you want to spend there, then theoretically you could get 2,500 back in terms of rewards. The big caveat here is that I've noticed that the rewards you get with the credit card, it's through, let's say, the bank. But any points you get, those Beauty Insider points, that's through Sephora's program. The reason for me delineating is that the rewards you get through the bank, they're issued to you in $5 increments, and it's advertised as, hey, every time you spend $125 because you're getting 4% back, we'll issue you a $5 Sephora reward certificate. The big thing with these things is that you got to redeem them within 90 days of issuance, so you can't just kind of save them over time and just hoard them to get a massive amount off, let's say, on a bigger transaction in the future. More than that, what I've understood is that you can only put 3 of these certificates in one transaction. So in other words, whether it's online or in person, if you have 3 $5 certificates, then that's $15 off your purchase. What I'm still waiting confirmation upon, and if you know, please comment down below, is that let's say we saved $50 after spending $200. So is that $50 going to come as a one-time, let's say $50 reward certificate, or is it going to be 10 of them at $5 each? You know what I'm saying? So with that, just a big call out, but let's keep it going. From an earn rate perspective, we're basically looking at 4% cash back when we spend with Sephora, and 2x Beauty Insider points per dollar spent, and 1x everywhere else. From here, we're going to analyze the situation in 2 scenarios. One is going to be that pure Sephora hardcore person who's like Sephora everything, it's their life, etc. And the second one is going to be more of a, casual Sephora shopper, and you're just there when you are. Maybe you strategically buy things throughout the year, but you're not like die hard, and you're happy to get discounts when you can, basically, but you may not always want this card. The Fanatic, if we start off with them, basically we can see that, okay, if they have the credit card, they get 4% cash back. That's step 1. Step 2 is they get 2x Beauty Insider points per dollar spent. And I'm valuing this at 8%, such that literally per dollar spent, if you have the card, you're basically going to get 12% back at minimum. The way I'm coming to this 12% minimum conclusion is that being Rouge, where you're spending $1,000 or more in a year, which is pretty normal, I would say, if someone who actually shops at Sephora, who loves it, etc., then what happens is that you're able to redeem 2,500 of those points for a $100 Sephora gift card. And what I'm going to get into is kind of more of the pure mathematical example. So if there's better ways to get even more value, then please tell me, because I'm sure me and others would love to know. Redeeming 2,500 points for $100 in gift cards is essentially saying, okay, hey, I'm getting 10,000 pennies of value for 2,500 Beauty Insider points. In English, that's basically saying, hey, I'm getting 4 pennies of value for each point I earn. So in other words, if you're getting 2 Beauty Insider points per dollar spent, that's 8% in value that we're getting. 8% plus the 4% from the Sephora credit card is how we get that 12%. From here, how to get closer to that 20% on each and every transaction in the longer term is really leveraging the concept of something known as cashback portals. The real phenomena is known as cashback stacking, where you're able to use the mix of, let's say, portals and a credit card and maybe discounts and maybe coupons and maybe a sales period. So you're able to stack such that you're not just getting one, let's say, X amount off, you're able to really stack your cashback potential. A few examples of these providers are, let's say you have a card with Chase, or you have a card with Amex or Capital One or some other type of issuer where they basically have merchant offers. Over here, there's 2 types. One is spending directly with that actual card. So in American Express's point of view, you may use that actual card, but the focus here is like, hey, I have my Sephora credit card, so how do I get something more than that by still using my Sephora credit card? So with that case, you can go into, let's say, Chase, and they may have Chase Shopping or Capital One Shopping or something like this, where through them you can get a higher earn rate on, let's say, Sephora purchases, but you don't need to use that Chase or Capital One or other type of specific card. So let's say you're getting 3x per dollar spent on Sephora purchases if you're going through one of these type of portals. Where an example is with United, you have United Mileage Plus X, where when you shop with certain merchants, you get United miles instead of, let's say, cash back. And so these miles could be worth more than that 1 penny per point. Overall, if you're getting, let's say, 3x miles per dollar spent, then that could be another 3% cash back, or if you value it, let's say, 6% or more. So that 12% over there basically is saying, okay, I got 12% from my Sephora credit card and the Beauty Insider advantage of being Rouge, but also now I'm getting an extra 3 or 6 or 8 or 10. It just depends. And during different seasonal periods, you're basically able to get even more cash back. The case 2 example is pretty straightforward. Given that these portals aren't card specific, you can still leverage these portals with any other type of card, but still being, let's say, in this VIB Rouge tier. The difference is you're not going to get that 4% cash back on Sephora with the card, and maybe not even those 2x Beauty Insider points. So if you're really everything Sephora, that may matter to you more from a loyalty perspective, but from a pure cashback or earn perspective, you could just buy, let's say, even gift cards with certain of these type of cashback providers. So what does that really mean? That means you could save this amount for a future purchase where also not needing to, let's say, spend these certain rewards that are given back to you by Sephora, but just go shopping as needed or plan out strategically. The reason I mention all of this is because there's folks that may not want to play that game of, okay, I have 2,500 points, I want to get this $100 gift card, because what I got to learn yesterday by going into the store, which I thought it's pretty dumb, but it's just my opinion, is that you literally have to redeem that on a Tuesday or Thursday until the gift cards go out of stock, which apparently there's a lot of availability, so that's not an issue. But if you see what I'm saying, it's like you could have the points, but you still can't redeem them very easily, / it's like 2 days of the week and it's gamified, but it's your call, depending how attached you are to the ecosystem and the value you're getting. The key takeaway is that I got this card, but would I ever recommend it to anybody out there? I really don't see a value of having this card unless you're really into the ecosystem or you really just want that first purchase 25% off and you never want to touch that card again. That's up to you. But outside of those 2 actual use cases, I'm not really sure if there's a bigger picture. This card is issued through Community Bank, which it's not like a Chase card or otherwise. So the ecosystem is kind of what it is. They're not bad. They have cards like your AAA cards where you get 5% on gas as well as groceries. There are different variations, but I think you know what I'm saying. At this moment, I have 60 plus credit cards, and me applying for the Sephora credit card was really just because I can. In other words, I have my mortgage, I have my car loans and all these things. I don't really care about my credit score in the short term. So getting this card was just like, let's see how it is, let's experience it, let's make a video about it, etc. This is the first time I really looked into a store's loyalty program to understand where is that opportunity to maximize volume. And this is what I found. So if there's something better than that, definitely tell us and everyone else who's watching. At the same time, if there's something else you'd like for me to kind of research into and figure out, that'd be pretty fun and I'd love to do that. So with that, I'll put a couple videos on screen and I'll see you there.